right, so hearing the word glossary makes me recall the 4 years I worked at a karaoke store in Parma. Yeah. We had a paid subscription to a comprehensive online catalog of every karaoke song ever recorded. It loaded slowly, crashed frequently, and you had to add the prefix Broadway, followed by a hyphen, to return any results when searching for show tunes, which, believe me, happened frequently enough. I don't know if you caught the part where I said I worked for 4 years at a karaoke store in Parma. Perhaps you're surprised to know that this extraordinary cultural touchstone exists, but it was a big enough draw to lure karaoke enthusiasts from such exotic locales as Madison, Toledo, and even Steubenville. This is true. We sold single discs and microphone cables to the number 7 Elvis impersonator in the world. I'm pretty sure the first 6 are Asian. And we recorded a demo for ex-American Idol contestant and lovable hood rat Scott Sable. We were kind of a big deal. I got hired the summer after I graduated high school when I stopped in to rent a karaoke machine to really take my grad party to the next level. I saw they had a recording studio, and being just a budding singer-songwriter at the time, I saw an opportunity. I wanted to make a connection here, no matter how low rent a place it was. They hired me when I returned my machine a few days later, impressed and probably surprised by my enthusiasm. They never knew that this job was kind of a consolation prize for me. And a side note, today is Record Store Day, if you didn't know. So my monologue is also relevant to Record Store Day. And if you didn't celebrate yet, it might be too late, but working at the karaoke store was the closest I'd come to working at a record store, a lifelong dream of mine. I'd romanticized the idea from an early age when my big sister would take me to Quonset Hut in Seven Hills, where she browsed assuredly through the vast alphabetized field of CDs and vinyl, through the racks of deep-colored tunics and scarves, the bright waxy candles and jars of incense. Everyone who worked there just looked so cool, steeped in grunge style at the time and calculatedly aloof. I wanted to be like them, to be like my big sister. But the year I got my driver's license, the Quonset Hut closed. And so did my dreams of having my own Empire Records, my own championship vinyl. But the karaoke store sold music too, and plenty of high-quality audio equipment for sale, with a few plastic cement-filled microphones from Taiwan mixed in. The karaoke store was everything you'd expect from a karaoke store in Parma. We shared our storefront with a juvenile detention center. And we had a cluttered basement storage area that consistently flummoxed the fire marshal. While we never actually got tested for black mold, I'm pretty sure that's what was creeping up the sides of the towering stacks of unsellable equipment that we repoed from bad karaoke jockeys who definitely weren't good for it. I worked in online sales from the basement for most of my 4 years, sequestered away from where most of the walk-in music sales took place. When I did get to work the floor, part of my job was to pretend I knew nothing about the high-end audio accessories, so I could dutifully refer customers to Headset Jeff, the cocky Italian salesman who also insisted that I read his terrible fiction and let him play a burned copy of his Color Me Bad greatest hits on the store speakers. Yes, that album exists. It's called Now and Forever, and it's an import. I call this guy Headset Jeff because he constantly had a telephone headset stuck in his slick back hair and would often stare through you while wearing it, so you had no idea who he was talking to. It was so much a part of his entity that one of the store's owner's sons would draw pictures of inanimate objects as Headset Jeff, always affixed with a frown and angry eyebrows, always with a headset. And I collected several of these because someday I'm just gonna sell these to a gallery and have something like, this is the hammer, the hot dog, a spider. Kid's a savant, I tell you. Where am I? Yes. We had regular customers who went by names like Rockin' Richie and Big D without a touch of irony. And I'm almost positive that one of our clients legally changed his name to Flash Gordon.
I know him.
He had set it on all his checks and he would not answer to anything else.
It's a legal name.
The DJs were the most entitled, always hinting for a discount. The KJs, short for karaoke jockey, were a little more humble and as a general rule had fewer teeth. Everything about the karaoke industry is a little dirty. If you don't believe me, think about the last time you did karaoke. Did you want to put your mouth anywhere near the mic? No. Some days I would get in at 10 o'clock when we opened, and I'd sit in the parking lot for 10 minutes, waiting for someone with a key to show up. Professionalism didn't seem to be in anyone's vocabulary or glossary. Once I had to train and work next to a grown, insane clown posse fan who forced me to listen to his basement demos while we printed priority shipping labels for Shania Twain disc sets. The store's owner, Chuck, was the kind of guy that everybody knows. Everybody's his best friend. You tell them you know this guy and they start laughing laughs that sound both disbelieving and reverent. He's a big personality. He constantly condescends to the clientele, and he's always looking for a new way to make money. Once he dropped a huge box of porcelain flat irons from China on my desk and told me to post them on our eBay site. We're gonna make thousands, he said. Like that would be some pie-in-the-sky achievement. Making thousands was his Shangri-La. I can't tell you how many times he said that. Probably thousands. It wasn't all frustration, though. Determined to make the most of my time at my almost record store job, I made my own fun. One afternoon, I built a fort out of boxes of Japanese home karaoke machines and hid from a particularly nasty coworker while I peacefully enjoyed my bag lunch. Then there was the time Mike, an ex-Marine and audio technician, treated me to my first and only trip to the shooting range after a long day of inventory. Rachel and I put ourselves in a harrowing position the day we stole Chuck's ho-hos from the abominable company fridge, and he announced over the intercom with customers on the floor that he would fire whoever took them. I worked there for a whole year after that. Then there were Funk Fridays, where Jay, an aging punk father, would put on old George Clinton and Morris Day songs to get everyone jazzed for the weekend. We would trade CDs and bootleg concert DVDs and fruitlessly discuss forming a band together. That never stopped being fun. It was with Jay that I felt cool. Jay was my championship vinyl. My story may seem disjointed, but appropriately so, I think. The 4 years that I happened to be employed at the karaoke store were some of the messiest, most confusing, and rewarding years of my life. At that store, I recorded my first demo and booked so many shows because of connections I made, no matter how shady. I traded my starter Fender Squier for the beautiful jumbo body Washburn guitar that I still play today, which Chuck gave me an incredible deal on. Because of the money I saved there, I was able to buy a house. No matter how stressful or ridiculous it was dealing with the karaoke cronies and shysters of Northeast Ohio, I'll look back on it fondly as the place where I finally became an adult. A ho-ho swiping, headset mocking, hair straightener peddling adult.